Week 3. Gathering together the importance of people in substance abuse and their lives is very important. These can include family members, close friends, clergy, employers, co-workers, or any religious advisors. Meet with a professional who will direct you to the correct intervention. This person could include your therapist, your substance abuse counselor, or pastor. The professional will educate you in intervention and group substance abuse. What to expect during this intervention is how we communicate the message to the abuser or abusee. Finally, the professional will help everyone organize a meeting with a substance abuser. Concerned individuals will express their love and care for the user, how the person's substance abuse has a negative impact on them, and they will no longer overlook the harm that the user is causing. They will urge the user to admit himself to a substance abuse program before the problem gets any worse. They will show their need to help, and they will seek help immediately. The interventions have significant implications for relationships, which is why any professional involved can be extremely beneficial. The goal of intervention is the motive the user uses to help the substance abuser and the problem that he has with the substance. Be careful in intervention because suicide can prevail amongst those dealing with addiction. Most people shun suicide as if it is something you never talk about, let alone mention in civil society. If left alone, unselected suicide becomes a deadly killer that affects many, experiencing great emotional loss. Left, if you are concerned about a loved one substance abuse, you can make or arrange an intervention. This can be done informally or formally. Dr. M. Scott Peck says, this is a moral code that affects as we all live by it as not a right, not even your own. Code of ethics is a situational ethics. The Ten Commandments are an example of ancient ethics and declares certain acts as being wrong in of themselves, regardless of the situation. The Sixth Commandment, for instance, flatly states, "Thou shalt not kill." It does not say, "Thou shalt not kill except the Philistine. Thou shalt not kill except for defense." It says, "Thou shalt not kill," period. Choosing genuine love, we choose a long life of criticism, self-discipline, but it will stretch out beyond your means of inevitably developing your spirit into a united spirit with God. Most suicides are found were committed because the person in question did not want to face the consequences of the crimes or the sin that he or she has committed. When God said we are wonderfully made, why would we want to kill ourselves? We should run and walk toward the source of hope, God. God can give us grace as we need to walk through our current dilemma. Nothing in life is really that bad. To take the plunge into the darkness of suicide. You do not only hurt yourself, but people who love you and care about you. God is always there. He will walk you through the Word of God, the Bible. We are created to be people of purpose and also discover the purpose that we have for our lives. We can never escape the web of suicide that lurks around every corner, but we can learn to overcome it. We need to take control of our mind and our spirit. How do we do that, you might ask? It takes a willingness to suffer through the anguish, taking it to the limits of time, getting to know yourselves through the emotional pain and becoming a friend to that emotional pain. David says in Psalm 18, 5-6, the sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even to his ears. A successful, purposeful person follows their dreams until they are fulfilled. I would never ask you to abandon others in the fulfillment of your dream of recovery, but I will ask you to seek the benefit of others to help in your recovery. Your expectations of yourself should be true. Negativity only leads to failure, and mediocrity ultimately leads to sabotage of the stage of recovery as we attempt to better ourselves than the average performance. A positive and enduring heart may allow hardship, but negativity minds fail at every obstacle. Learning to take a moment to breathe is like loving and loving freely. In moments such as these, it is a wise but a quiet statement of truth to still rest in the security of God. Accept God, and you'll make a way for a much greater purpose. If we are not of ourselves, like us could never know Jesus Christ. And ultimately, they will find the energy required for self-discipline, of honesty, far as than the energy required of secretiveness. Because if we hold secrets, we never learn. We live with ourselves. It is like lying to your peers because they never see the true you. It does not make you a person much dedicated to the truth of self-worth. That is the truth of oneself in the light of the world around him. And in aspects of recovery, we are called to examine ourselves every day. And in intervention, we are called to intervene for those who are in recovery, to find ways to help them to see the error in their actions and to find a peaceful yet loving and non-invasive way of getting them to go for help, to go into a recovery program. And this means by interfering in their lives in a loving, compassionate way, by showing them the need to go out and find a program to help them and to be a support and a comfort and a provider for them. But by no means does this mean giving into their every need. This means helping them along, but letting them know that you're not going to let them continue in the life that they're living. But as doing this, you try to do this with the utmost compassion and the utmost peace and sincerity that you can give.